quick tutorial on how to rendezvous. This is a fueler in orbit around Kerbin. First thing you'll need is to make sure you have docking ports on what you want to rendezvous with, or unless it's a mission where you have to, save a Kerbin or something like that. But for this mission, I'll be needing these docking ports. So I need them up here, and I also need them on my ship. This orbit is at about 100 and 101. So what we'll do is we'll launch from Kerbin, we'll launch from Kerbin, but we'll launch from the space complex, which is actually on the other side right now. Not optimal, but you can do it. You just have to get in a lower orbit. That way you spin a little faster, or you can get in a higher orbit so you're slower. That way your space station, whatever you're trying to rendezvous, will catch up with you. If you're in a lower orbit, then you will catch up with it. So let's get to flying. I'll be using just what I call my moon lander right now. That's the only ship I really have used. So it has spaghetti staging, so works really well. Make sure to throttle up because they're not boosters. The cool thing about spaghetti staging is, so if you watch over here, these guys are the first to deplete because they're on the end and they're actually feeding to the next, so they'll shut off. I lose them, less weight, so my thrust to weight ratio just out of the roof, out of the atmosphere. Another thing, luckily this one, it has the docking port that is required in order to dock. One of the essentials. After I drop this next one, I'll see where I'm at. Alright, I've wrapped some 17 now. Wow. So now it's just a waiting game of slowly getting up to the station. Someone just blew up. So once I drop these last ones, I'll make my turn. I don't like making my turn with these guys on still because I usually lose an engine when I do that. Alright, now we're in orbit. So what we'll be doing is, although this guy's right behind us, and if I just made the orbit a little bit bigger, and he'll catch up, but I'll just do it this way. I'll show that you'll catch up in the low orbit. It'll take a little longer, just because he's so close and we can't go past 50 times at such a low orbit. But I will see you back when we are closer. Alright, after quite a few orbits, we are finally right behind him. So let me set him as a target now. And you can see him over there, 89, but we're still going faster than him. So we don't want that. What we want to do now is we want to point prograde. What that's going to do is it's going to push our orbit and touch his. We'll see a wait for it. There we go. So we get an intersection. So separation 25.6 kilometers. You know, not bad, not too great. If we burn a little bit longer, I think it's gonna separate more. Yeah, okay. So sometimes it'll be real close. You'll get a real close one, or it'll be pretty separated. You know, 40s, 30s, 40s. But the longer you burn, the closer it'll get. Then it'll start getting away. It'll get further away. So what you're going to want to do is stop burning then. You know, you want to get it at the closest. So this is 26.1 kilometers. That's fine. What we'll do now is we will warp over there. So what we're just trying to do is just match this orbit. We're close enough that we'll be able to fly over to him once the orbit is matched. So warp's complete. Continue pointing prograde. Burn our periapsis outward. These will actually probably get closer yet. Oh, look at that one. I don't know. 49, 23. Alright, keep burning. These guys will flip around. 22, 21, 20. Oh, look at that one. 2. Oh, that's perfect right there. Usually you don't get that good, but you know, that's really good. 0.3 kilometers. Just because this is really lucky, I'm not going to use that. I'll do the 12.7. Let's see if we keep burning. Does it get closer? It does. How close can we get? Okay. 8.9, 8.8, 8.7. Leave it right there. 8.7 kilometers. Okay, and that one flew out to 60. So now if we look, it's pretty close. It's right there. But in relationship to the target, in relationship to us, he is probably moving away from us at almost 75 meters per second. Let's see. Yeah, because my orbit's a little bit bigger. So he's flying away from us. So we want to get a 0 right here on our target, right? So if we want to move this guy over, gotta burn just like this. What that's going to do is going to slow us like that, and it's going to push our retrograde right on top of our anti-target. You go a little faster, just make sure they're in a line, just like that. Slowly, we'll match our target speed. Don't go to the orbit view because you'll just get really confused as far as your orbit's going to be really weird. Now, you might be crashing into the planet on the other side or something like that. Alright, there we go. So retrograde is that anti-target. Now I can just point retrograde. Go back to stability assist. Keep pushing it towards the anti-target until the relative velocity is 0. So the lower it goes, the more finicky it gets. So there we go. We want to keep burning this way. And okay, so we're almost basically at 0. So now what we'll do is we will point towards the target. So this is what your orbit now. You know, not even close, but that doesn't matter. None of that matters. Only what's right here. So I'm going to start burning straight towards my target, which is going to put my prograde right on the target. That way I'm burning right at him. He's 19.4 away, so I'm going to want to burn quite a bit. So probably about 75 meters per second. And now we'll just point right towards the target. We'll get up to, you know, 100, maybe 100. We'll do 90. That way we get to them pretty quick. So this distance will start dropping pretty considerably. Now what you're going to want to do is point anti-target. because since you're going, 91 meters per second towards him, you're going to want to slow down at some point. So wait till we get close. And we also have to do some corrections on retrograde between. Yeah, so the further away you are, you have to do a lot more of these corrections compared to if you were just that 0.2 separation that I had earlier. Alright, so there we go. Now we can point back at target. Get that speed back up. We're going to have to do corrections again. Then we'll go up to 100. Slowly going to get there. Speed up again. Alright, so now we want to point retro. Okay, so this will happen, possibly. You might fly right past them at 100 meters per second. All you gotta do is slow. Retro, you drop that, back down to 0. That way, relative to him, you're 0. Now we'll point towards the target. Get back up to, something decent. 8 is fine. Point away from him, because now we're going to crash into him if we keep going straight. Wait till you're, within 100 meters or so of him. Getting closer. Start stopping. Now, relative to him, we're not moving at all. Barely. So now we can point back towards target. And push our program right at him. Alright, so this is the time you should probably go into docking mode. What's that going to let you use is your RCS to move around instead of your main thrusters. We'll do that now. Make sure to turn on your RCS, because now we're getting pretty close. If I just kept it going, we would hit him. So we're going to want to burn off, that 2 meters per second, get down to something reasonable, and then by using left and right, see how my prograde moves around like that? So you want to keep it towards target still. Just like that. So we'll select one of those. That'll be our new target. We'll control from our docking point, our docking port. We're going to want to line these guys up. So just by doing that and moving forward a little bit, now we'll be going straight at it. Once we get close, what we're going to want to do is we're going to back off the speed a little bit. That way we're not coming in too hot, 0.1 meters per second or 0.2. This is even fine, but you might spin the ship just because you're coming in so fast. So it's pointed right at it. Here's the other thing you can do is, so these aren't even, these aren't straight. Say you had something coming off right here. You're going to want it to not hit it, right? So you can go back into your staging mode and you can rotate, oh, you gotta do stability. you can rotate just like that. So now it's going to be lined up pretty squarely. Go back into docking mode, and now we're going to want to back off of it a little. You don't have to use the ball so much, now you can just do it by eye. So we're going to want to move to my left, which is down, just like that. And we are going to want to move forward. So there's my prograde right at the target. Bam. Connected to the magnetic forces. That is rendezvousing. Transfer fuel. Just hold Alt, right click, and then where you want to transfer it to. These I want out. I want to fill up this tanker. Cool. Thanks for watching.